During my 13 years of kicking for the New Orleans Saints, I played for two owners, John Meekham and Tom and Gayle Benson. The years were formative, the experiences powerful, and my departure painful. But with time comes levity and perspective. I'm indeed grateful for my relationships with Tom and Gayle Benson, and I grieved along with everyone when Tom passed. His beautiful wife, Gayle, has continued his legacy with wisdom, perspective, and passion, and the Saints are today known as a first-in-class franchise on and off the field. This is a result in no small part to the work of Gayle Benson. I've always had meaningful conversation with Gayle Benson. I hope that we may continue that tradition now. Gayle, welcome to Great Dane Nation. I hope you're well.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your kind words, Morten. That's very nice. Thank you.
It's great to be with you. It's always, and while I have you in front of me, I want to say thank you. First of all, for keeping me employed for some years down in New Orleans. I had the greatest of times. I have the greatest of memories from my time in the black and gold and the fleur-de-lis, and some of the most powerful formative years, like I said in the intro, came when I was in my 20s. And so I want to thank you for allowing me to be part of that wonderful, powerful experience and community down there.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I know Tom was very excited to have you play, and he talked about you so fondly. So it was really very nice to get to know you, even while he was alive, and then, of course, now that he's gone. But he's still with us.
You know, when I was inducted into the Ring of Honor, I have a couple of pictures with Tom and you on the bench prior to a football game. I think we had a little, you guys were kind enough to do a halftime ceremony where I got, inducted into the Ring of Honor. And then later the Pro Football Hall of Fame, we also did the ring ceremony with David Baker. And I have those pictures hanging. It's special times, captured in a moment where I'm talking to Tom and he's listening, and I can't remember what I said to him, but I'm trying to be funny, I'm sure. So good memories and good times of just a special time in my life. Gayle, before I talk about the team, the Saints, of course, and you're the owner of the Saints and Pelicans. Can you tell me, when Tom was alive, he had a certain style. Do you think your ownership style is different than Tom's, and how's that transition been for you?
I came to work with Tom every day. I mean, Tom was, we were at breakfast, lunch, and dinner every single day. So I learned so much from Tom. He was he was a good teacher. He was loyal. He was just a great person to be around. And so I learned a lot from him. And, prior to meeting Tom, I had my own businesses, and which he soon, shortly after we got engaged, he wanted me to get rid of them, which I did. I sold them all. But I was always interested in business, and I sort of picked up on a lot of his footprints of what he did. And I wanted to keep his tradition alive and do things the way he did. I wanted things to go as he would have wanted them to go. And I work very hard every day, and so do the executives here and all the employees here. We all work together to try to make that happen.
Yeah, I know you have an office at Saints Drive, which Tom did as well. So would you say your leadership style is very hands-on, or are you allowing? It seems like you have a great crew in Mickey Loomis, Greg Benson, of course, Sean Payton on the Saints side, and then on the Pelicans side, you have very capable people over there. So is your leadership hands-on, would you say, or more you do your thing and I'll own?
Oh, no, I am very much hands-on. I'm here every day. I get to the office in between 8 and 8:30. We have an 8:30 executive vice president call every morning that lasts about 30 to 45 minutes, depending on what's going on. And I'm meeting with Dennis and the other executives most of the day. I mean, we meet in the hallways, we see each other at lunch. I mean, we're always interacting. So I'm very much hands-on. I don't believe in just being someone that just sits back and lets everybody else do it. You know, Morten, when I had my business, I was always hands-on. If something needs to be done, I'm going to get in there and get my hands dirty like everybody else.
Yeah.
I mean, if it means getting on the floor and doing things, I'll do that too. You know, when I was in the design business, we had a lot of samples that we put on the floor, on the chair, on the table, and so we were all over the place. And I'm sort of the same way. I really do enjoy interacting with everyone.
I love that, and I think it's powerful that you're one of few female owners, and I'm sure that has its own challenges. But I just love the fact that you lead from within, and that you've had the experiences that you've had as an independent businesswoman. I think that comes in very handy for you, I would say. I just want to make sure when you walk through the hallways to talk to those VPs that you take a look at my picture hanging there and blow me a little kiss once in a while,
Well, of course I do. You know I do. I mean, absolutely.
I want to talk with the announcement that Drew Brees retired and moving into television, right? And he was such a fixture for the Saints, as many of us were. I want to just get your impression, your honest take on what Drew Brees has meant to the franchise, to the community. His on-the-field successes are documented, obviously. He's one of the greatest passers ever, set multiple records. And then also his impact in the community. What does Drew Brees meant to the Saints and the city?
You know, Morten, I think Drew has meant so much to the city of New Orleans, both on the field and off. Throughout his career as a Saint, he helped lead our franchise to new heights. Of course, the Super Bowl championship, while, rewriting the NFL record books. I mean, Drew's impact in the community through the Drew Brees Dream Foundation and countless other appearances and donations has left a lasting impact on the greater New Orleans community for years to come. He and Brittany were just great people. And, they had 4 wonderful, beautiful children. And I was so humbled to be asked to be the godmother of the little girl, Riley.
Oh, that's great.
So it was really very special. I mean, he's a very special person and just a very special family.
How important is it to have a leader like Sean Payton for this franchise? He's been there, he kind of came in with Drew, and that combination has borne out to be extremely powerful. Sean, along with the team, won their first Super Bowl. So how important is it? I had Sean on the show, some weeks ago. He was great, very insightful right before the draft. So as a leader for this team, how important has that been?
Well, Sean is just an incredible human being. I mean, he has done so much. He is such a driven coach, somebody that we really needed at the right time. I mean, in my opinion, he's just one of the best. I mean, I think he's one of the best in the NFL. I know we haven't won a lot of Super Bowls. We've only won one, but hopefully in the future we will do more. But we've had some bad luck. But I think coaching wise, he's the best we could get. I really believe that. And he's a wonderful person.
Yeah, he's so creative offensively. He was an offensive coordinator with the New York Football Giants when I was there in 2001. So I had a chance to see him, calling plays, which he still does for the Saints. And I could see there was so much potential with Sean, right? He was the upside for Sean was unbelievable. And it was not a surprise when he became a head coach to me, right? It was just a natural progression.
I mean, he's incredible. Some of the plays that he calls and executes are just, you just sit there and go, wow.
One of the wildest plays, and I don't remember, I'm going to take it to, I would guess one of your proudest moments as an owner is down in Miami when we played the Colts. Oh. And we won the Super Bowl. But one of the plays he called, and I had Thomas Morstead on the show as well. And I don't know if I know you remember this, but Sean went up to to Thomas at halftime and said, "Hey, we're running it. Ambush." And ambush was the surprise onside kick. What were you thinking when you saw that? Did you know that was coming?
I didn't know it was coming. And all I could think about at that time was getting, Tom, I used to have Tom's clothes made, custom made. And the people that made his clothes for me had called me about a month before we were going to be in the Super Bowl. And they said they wanted to make a special suit for Tom. And it had Super Bowl champions in the writing on the shirt, the jacket and pants. And I didn't think it was proper to have Tom wear that to the game because, of course, we hadn't won.
Right.
And we were only in the Super Bowl. So that morning, I dressed him in black pants, and I had this jacket that had the Super Bowl champions in the writing, in the lines in the suit. And so I took the suit with me. I took the jacket with me, not knowing that we would even win. And when I saw that play, I said to Tom, "You need to take your coat off." I was so excited to him.
Oh, it was unbelievable. It was, you know what it was? It was a play, and this is what Sean and Thomas both said. It was a play that took a possession away from the Colts because a team led by Peyton Manning, man, you got to limit the amount of time he's on the field. And it also made a huge statement. And I love the fact that you can get emotional about it because I get emotional all the time. And I think it's a powerful, listen, this was a very powerful time.
It really was. And I was so happy for Tom that he got the opportunity to win the Super Bowl because, he had worked so hard. Being on the finance committee for 25 years and, he was so driven about the NFL and just wanted everything to be right and wanted to win that so badly. And I just felt like it was his time. And he didn't even know about the jacket until after it was all over.
That's so awesome.
I don't think he even remembered taking it off. But it was really kind of nice. And, I was just thrilled that he had that coat on when he got up on the stage.
Do you recall the words that were spoken between Tom and you when the final whistle blew and you knew that you won the Lombardi Trophy? Is that something you want to share?
It was so emotional. And I was so happy for Tom. And it was just a good time.
Yeah. Okay. Well, no, it's fine. Listen, this is what.
Sorry.
No, listen, this is what we do, and I cry all the time. So I cry on a daily basis. I call it cleansing. It's a good thing.
I'm going to ruin my makeup.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you cry, honey. I'm sorry, Gayle. Well, so I think you answered the question, what's your proudest moment as an owner of the Saints? I would imagine that it was hoisting the Lombardi Trophy with your late husband, Tom Benson, on that field. Is that accurate?
It really was. I was just so excited, and not so much for me, but for him, because he had worked so hard and for so long, and that's all he really wanted was a Super Bowl ring.
What was it like to get back to New Orleans as a team, as a group, and finally understand and realize, this is for the city too. This has been so long coming. I'll tell you where I was. I was on a balcony at the Royal Sonesta in Bourbon Street when you guys won it. And I was standing there and the place was empty. And then when we intercepted and sealed the game, the whole place was packed on Bourbon Street. It was a flooding of people. So when you got back and had that parade, had to be just the biggest party ever.
Oh, it was just a thrill of his life. We, when we had the parade, at first he said to me, "I'm not doing this parade." I said, "Tom, you're going to need to do this." He said, "No," he says, "I'm going to get off after a while." He said, "I'm not going to stay." And once we started and he saw all the people, he was so energized and so excited that he just felt like he was rejuvenated. He just had such a great time. He didn't want to get off. So it was really a great time for him.
It was a big party. It rivaled Mardi Gras. Let's face it. All the floats from Mardi Gras were used, right, to carry the players and the coaches and
And he was so happy for the city of New Orleans because the city really needed this at that time.
Yeah.
It was just it was a perfect time when it happened. I always say things happen at the right time and at the perfect time when it was ready.
Yeah.
And the city was ready for that.
I don't know if you remember, but Buddy DiLiberto, when Buddy DiLiberto was alive, he said, when the Saints win the Super Bowl, I'll wear a wedding dress down Bourbon Street.
Yes, I remember that.
So Bobby Hebert, former quarterback of the Saints, of course, who now is on WWL. So Bobby took over for Buddy D, wore a wedding dress, and he sent me some pictures of him wearing a wedding dress on the float down Bourbon Street. I said, oh, man, only in New Orleans can this happen.
Only in New Orleans would we understand it, huh?
Only in New Orleans would we appreciate the weirdness of that, right? So I was like, this is perfect, like you said, a perfect place and a perfect time for that.
Yes, it was. Everything has a perfect time for things to happen.
Let's talk about the Saints today. We just had the draft. Who knows? Like, right? This is unproven commodities that are coming in. I remember being drafted in 1982 in the 4th round and being scared and being, green and not understanding. College is one thing. When you go up to the pro level and play on Sunday afternoon, it becomes a whole different animal. And it took me a while to get to be good. And so we have a whole new, fresh, group of guys coming in. It's exciting. Drew's retiring. There's a lot of, questions about the quarterback. How do you feel about the current state of the franchise?
I think the current state is really in a good shape. I really do. I feel like Winston and Hill are great. I feel like our new guys are going to be great. They're all young, full of energy, full of hopes and dreams. And you just never know what the season's going to bring. And I just feel like we're going in the right direction. We have the best coach in the NFL, like I said, and his assistant coaches are the best. And I think that we have a really good chance of going all the way this year. And, time will tell. I mean, we put out, the front office, we just put out everything that we can during the week. And we just wait on Sunday for them to do their job. So that's all we could do, really. We can't catch the ball for them.
No, that's beautiful. And that's what you're supposed to do. Bump Phillips was the head coach back in the 80s. And I remember a famous quote of his. Tom Meekum was always the owner before you guys, before Tom bought the franchise in 85, I think it was.
Uh-huh.
John Meekum would ask Bum, hey, how can I help? And Bum just looked at him, in a 10-gallon hat, and he said, well, you're the owner. You're the owner, so own, right? So that's what you're supposed to do. And to your point about teeing it up for the rest of the guys and then letting it go and trusting that everybody does their job, I think that's valuable.
And that's what we're supposed to do. I mean, I can't call the plays. I don't want to call the plays. I mean, Sean and our coaches are very good at that. Yeah. And so we let them do their job and we do our job at the front office.
I also think that Sean's very good at playing into the strengths of his players and putting them in the right position to succeed. I think that's something that's not talked about enough, is that a good coach not only recognizes talent and drafts really good talent, along with, of course, Mickey Loomis and his staff, but he also, once he gets the players, he gets them better, right? There's 2 ways to improve in my mind. You either get better players or you get the players you have better.
Right.
And I think Sean is really good with the process.
He really is. He's good at making people better than what they are. And that's a real gift that he has.
I agree with that. What are some of the goals you've set for yourself and your franchise moving forward? I know, listen, win another Super Bowl, right? Let's go.
Of course. We're just trying to be the best we can be at what we do. And I think that's really the key to anything. I mean, you set the goals, but you never know what's going to happen. God always puts you where you're supposed to be at the right time. So we try hard every day, work hard every day, and then, wait for the good to come back to you. So that's what we do. And I think as long as everyone does their job and stays in their lane, we're going to be okay.
Do you have a favorite Saints player of all time? I know you know what the correct answer is.
Well, of course I do. It's Morten. It's Morten. Now, Morten, I
Well,
can't
I know you
say,
have several.
well, I have all of them. They're like
Right.
my children, so you can't choose your children. So they're all my favorites.
That's
I really mean that.
yeah.
I really don't like to play favorites, and I feel like the mother, and so you can't choose a child. But I love all of you, even the ones that aren't playing anymore.
I know. It's a beautiful legacy, and it's a great community of legends. Think about the history of the Saints for a second, going back to the 60s and the amount of people, Abramovich, Manning,
Oh, yeah.
Stapler,
Yeah.
Ricky Jackson, Pat Swilling, Sam Mills, Vaughn Johnson, and on the Dome Patrol,
Yes.
Ruben May, all the draft choices, all the free agents that have come through the franchise, Brad Edelman, Stan Brock, Joel Hilkenberg, I can go on and on.
And
Steve Cole.
they've all been great.
And they've all been fantastic. Some of them are still in the communities, living in New
Yes.
Orleans. A lot of
Mhm.
them actually are.
Yes, I know.
And the ones who aren't come back
They
year
do.
after year after year, and some of my greatest memories are sitting with you, and you're kind enough to bring me up once in a while next to you, and we watch the game, whether it's a Saints or Pelicans game. So much fun. Such a beautiful tribute to your legend players. It's such a fun time.
Well,
Yeah.
thank
So
you. It is fun, and I enjoy seeing all of y'all. I really do. I just don't wanna lose that connection, so I feel like we should stay close because,
we will.
you played for the Saints, and so you're part of our team still. You're
Uh,
always a Saint.
One of the things that you and Tom always did, and I would imagine maybe more you than him, because you handled that part. I just got something in the mail from you, Gayle. It was a news clipping. It was from the local newspaper, and I think they had something around the draft about who they felt was maybe a good pick in the
Yes.
4th round, and you had signed it with a personal note. It's those little things to me that make a difference and make you special, make you unique as an owner, that you have a personal touch. Very beautiful.
Well, thank you. I do that every day. I just see things in the paper, and I like to send it to people, put a smile on their face for a little while, and, it's just nice, I think, to do. I've done
But
it. I've done that all my life, Morton. Even when I had my business 30 years ago, I've always sent notes to people, and, I just think it's a good practice to keep, and I enjoy it.
I think there's nothing more unique and personal than a written letter or a written note. It's a forgotten art form.
It is.
Now that we have emails and texts and social media. So being old school is a really, really powerful, good thing. I would say keep that up. And I've learned from that. I'm starting to write more notes. My handwriting is not the best, but
And that's
it's
okay.
it's it's the thought that count, isn't it?
That's
Yeah.
exactly right, and you could always type it and then just sign it at the end with a little
Well, that's
footnote.
that's true. Gayle, let's just talk. I just have one question about the Pelicans. I love the NBA. I think they're some of the greatest athletes in the world. They
They
are.
are.
They
They're
truly are. And so the season, the dynamic is different within the NBA than the NFL. You only got a finite amount of shots in the NFL. You got a lot more games in the NBA, of course. So what do you think about the direction the Pelicans are going with Zion Williamson as the new face of the franchise? And does Zion have a chance to have a Drew Brees-like impact on the city of New Orleans?
I really do believe that. He is not only an excellent basketball player, he's a good person, and
Mhm.
he loves the city, and that's so important, and we have Brandon Ingram, who is also excellent. We have some really good players, and I think our players are on the right path. I think they're all young, and it's just gonna take them a little time, but they are great individuals, and I'm
Yeah.
really very blessed to have them working here and being with us because they really are good people and excellent players. We've really managed to get some good people coming here and playing.
Gayle, finally, if I say, and you've already kind of touched on Sean Payton, we don't really need to say him, but a little word association game about some current players and coaches. If I say Mickey Loomis to you, you say what?
Oh, Mickey is great. He's the best GM that we could possibly have. Mickey is calm, collective. He thinks out things before he says anything. So he's a really good general manager. I think he's excellent.
What about Cam Jordan?
Oh, he's wonderful. I love Cam. He's funny, good to be around. I enjoy his company. He texts me. A lot of the players and coaches text back and forth with me, and I enjoy getting their texts.
Players come, players go. That's the nature of the business. Thomas Morstead.
Oh, Thomas was such a great guy. He and his wife came to see me on the day he was told, and we cried together. It was really, really nice.
Yeah, he was a force in the community. There was a lot of parallels between him and I, actually, because I was so entrenched in the community too. And that's why in my intro I said my departure was painful. Now, I don't want you to think in any way that at the time I was bitter, but like I said, with time comes levity and perspective. I knew you had nothing to do with that. Tom had nothing to do with that. That was a personnel decision that was made. So from a player's perspective, I think the lesson is really good, that if you can use change for motivation, right? Because change is inevitable in our business. It is. If you can use it, and I know Thomas will use it as a reinforcer motivation for him. And that's what I try to do when I left. As painful as it was, time heals. And
it does. And change is good, and it gives you other opportunities to do different things. And I think God places us in the right spot at the right time in our lives. And I think we all need to remember that, to focus on the good, even though it's painful at the time.
Yeah. If I say John Carney, you say?
Oh, he's so great. We still keep in touch.
Yeah.
They just did a movie on Fatima, and just great people, wonderful people.
Will Lutz.
Oh, he's so good. I like Will. Yes, very nice guy. Nice to be around. Pleasant, just a friendly. Town and Country did a story on me. I don't know, last year, recently, and they did some photos of me with them practicing, and Will was in one of the pictures, and it was just so nice. He's a nice guy.
Morten Andersen.
Well, he's fabulous. I mean, what can I say? It doesn't get any better, right?
I don't know. I'm very proud to hang in the Superdome. My name is up there along with a couple of other legends of the Saints, which have been great players for you, for the franchise. And Gayle, it's really been an honor to play for the Saints. And, I was lucky to extend that career beyond to other teams and have some success and end up in Canton, Ohio. And one of my fondest memories was actually when we were all up in Canton, Ohio at Tom Benson Stadium for the unveiling of the statue of your late great husband, Tom. And I was asked to speak on behalf of the Saints as a representative. That was such an honor for me, and it was, it's bittersweet now, but it sure was a powerful, powerful moment in my life. So thank you for that.
Oh, thank you. Well, it's been a pleasure to know you and to enjoy your company, and I look forward to seeing you more often at the games. And thank you for calling me today.
All right, we'll go black and gold, Super Bowl again. Let's do it.
I hope so. Yes, I'm counting on it.
Gayle, all the blessings to you. I wish you much success. I'm here, stand ready to help in any way I can, and it's been great talking to you.
Thank you so much, Morten. I appreciate it. You have a great day. Thank you.
Love you. See you.
Love you too. Bye-bye.